I'm Jann, Saven. I'm a jeweler by training, but I've moved towards sculpture, and so I suppose my default would be to make something sculptural. But what I've chosen for my piece is to do a poetry reading installation in this location here. It started with two poems that came quite quickly through free association, and that only really happens with me when I'm in a place of deep stillness. It's inspired by the bird song I woke up to on the first morning of the residency. It's about finding stillness in nature to quieten the mind. What I love about this location is the body of water that is seasonal, and around the location there's a quarry with the most incredible pigment, and you really get to see the depth and the inside of the land, and it's rich with minerals and iron oxide that brings all the colors. So I've taken some of the pigment, which I'm going to process and use in a way in my poetry reading. There are two phrases that have popped into my head. The one is the shadow of the dragonfly's tail. When I came to this location, I noticed how many dragonflies there were and the reflection. You only really capture the reflection, very seldom the shadow, because they're mostly on water. And the other phrase that comes to me is the questions left hanging. The land definitely evokes many questions. So the piece I started to make is a land art piece, taking the rocks from inside the water and building it. And what's really exciting for me was I love water, so working from inside the water, something very new and a meditative practice in itself. I've got a conceptual installation, I would call it, that I'm planned to create, and I'll be using pigment with that, and will draw from this environment as well, so that the whole installation is mostly integrated. So the yellow flower, this one here, is the flower of the kolkol, which means spot. This green one here is the almost dried part of a plant called slangbos. This one's got the shale from the quarry. One material that I have brought with me is sailcloth. I'm making these little vessels, and they're made out of repurposed sailcloth. I love the storing behind it. I put them on the water with pigment in, actually. And I floated them up at the dam, and they started to look like the water lilies and water plants that have these tendrils hanging down. It's left, it's right, it's all about. Birds, their song, no need to shout. The voice within, who said to doubt? Surrender, listen, the birds call out. The wavering of the mind, it knows no way. It takes a chance, night or day. It sways with the wind, rises with the tide, comes out with the moonlight, uses shade to hide. It's yours to foster, to expand or contain, to take on a journey, again or again.